We are we are live, right? So
Live.
today we're gonna be doing some reward kind of cloud working on, and Konstantin has actually looked into this, so we're gonna look in it together. So yeah, if you wanna go for it, Konstantin.
Yeah, sure. Hi, name's Konstantin. So Azure Cloud News. I have Azure Cloud News for you. There was a podcast that ended recently where they were doing picks of top news. So when they stopped doing that podcast, so I figured I would somewhat reproduce that format and also show how I stay on top of the slew of things that originates from Azure, and then Andrei can comment on it.
Yeah, that sounds very fun.
Yeah. Okay, let me figure out how the screen sharing works here. Share screen. So I want to share the screen. That's this screen. Okay, so now you should see a screen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I set up an RSS feed reader and I pointed it at the Azure news site. Let me just show that real quick. So Azure updates. This thing. So I just set up the RSS feed reader for this thing. That's all this is. So the first thing, so this is kind of my picks and then also just samples of the kinds of things that you would see frequently if you were to sign up. So the first thing that I wanted to look at was this load testing thing, mostly because I keep seeing news about this service and I keep wondering, what is this? Andrei, do you know what this is?
Is that for
Azure load testing.
I haven't looked into that.
Okay. Okay, that's exactly. Okay. Okay. That's exactly what I thought it would be. It tests your app. You have it throw tests at your app. At my current place, we have a bit of custom code that does some things with our ticketing system. So we have a logic app that's doing a very, very poor man's version of this. Every 15 minutes, it just tries to do a thing.
Yeah.
So we have that. Okay. Okay. Curiosity satisfied. So that you can find out about new services this way. So this is also kind of typical of the kind of incremental changes that you'll see happen. But one thing that stood out to me here was you'd be able to toggle the kinds of data that you're getting versus not getting. So you can optimize this for cost. Yeah.
I think that's really important because it's like for VM Insights, so they collect a lot of data and
yeah,
data you don't even want to monitor.
Yeah, if you don't care about it, you'll now be able to turn it off.
It's pretty cool.
So that was that one. I'm just gonna check them off as I'm done with them. This one is cool. This one is just cool. So they're getting better with the dynamic detection. So now the fancy AI thing will, or machine learning thing, will detect more of the outliers.
All right. So is it what kind of intervals is it gonna detect it at? Is it
probably whatever intervals you can figure?
Yeah.
That'll probably remain the same. I don't see why that would change.
Cool. So that's generally available now. That's not.
Yeah, that went GA. Yeah,
that's GA. Cool.
That went GA. So this kind of thing happens frequently, where a service just becomes available in more regions. So this is just like completely. If you happen to be in those regions, you may care about this, but I'm in East US, so I'm spoiled. I have everything.
Yeah, I'm UK
Most
South.
of the time. Yeah, most of the time I have everything.
Yeah. Yeah, East US is quite that's a predominant one, isn't it? So
Oh yeah, no, East US. There's actually a bit of a kind of semi-religious war between East US people and East US 2 people. Some people insist that East US 2 is better or newer. I'm not myself sure that there is any credence to this whatsoever, but other people who claim familiarity with the subject matter have made these claims, so that's what we know. This is I just sometimes you sometimes get these kind of administrative changes, and you're just wondering, like, who cared enough about this specific thing that it's now a thing? So they apparently made new built-in roles in the Azure portal just to deal with reservations. So that's a thing now.
I mean, reservations are can get quite expensive. So somebody actually does the reservation, and does it for 3 years, then you're kind of locked in, aren't you? So
yeah, you're kind of locked in. You can't. I know a little bit too much about this. The way that this works is that you can cancel up to $50,000 a year on a rolling basis of reservations. So depending on your size of reservation, you are more or less locked in. So yeah, but apparently this mattered enough for enough customers for there now to be specific Azure AD roles for managing reservations. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they provide certain people to just have that access, right, and not access.
Yeah, but like,
so maybe like FinOps people or something.
Exactly. It's gonna be those kind of people. I guess I'm just surprised that it became a big enough thing for them to do a role where their usual guidance. I mean, you'll just see sometimes in the documentation where they're like, oh yeah, and then go make a custom role for this specific thing. So for this specific thing, I guess they got tired of people making custom roles. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, probably. Exactly.
So I was only looking at this because this made me think, well, what is a machine configuration anyway to do? Do you know, Andrei?
Isn't that just sort of the talks about Azure there, but I haven't worked with Azure too much on that end. But yeah, it looks like.
Do we have anything going on in the chat?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. So Azure machine configuration. No, this was a bad search. Let's try. I'm having a look myself. Okay.
Yeah, you could have just clicked there, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now I understand what this is. This is Azure policy applying down to VMs and their individual configuration. Okay. Once again, more things and more regions. This is another thing that I wanted to find out about. What is this VM applications or VM apps thing?
Is that public preview or is that GA?
No, it's a GA. It's GA.
Yeah, there's so many different always changes, right? But
yeah. Okay, this might actually really help things. So then how do we deploy? How do we deploy these? Okay, this could be worth playing with because this could make AVD easier and updating apps inside of AVD easier.
yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I've worked with was it MSIX app attach, but it still
Yeah.
doesn't help when you for example have a self-updating app or like an app which may need an update, then you have to go through that and package it up as a VHDX file. Not sure if how this would work with that. But, yeah.
Yeah. That is this is interesting.
So it only allows 5 applications per VM. One.
Huh?
So you can only have according to this, you can only have 5 applications. So you have to pick the 5 that you want on this VM. Yeah.
Okay, limitations page. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna wait for a news item that this limitation has been lifted before looking at this any further.
I find this a lot. I mean, I guess if you got some sort of application that you really need on your VM, but really you're probably going to have more than 5. So,
but like, what kind of a number is 5 exactly? Like,
exactly. And what does it actually do? Does it actually improve, or
Yeah, we'll never know. We'll never know. Ah, yes. So this thing, backup alerts based on Azure Monitor. This is good. Generally, anything that wasn't on Azure Monitor, it now being on Azure Monitor is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's just good. Ah, this. Actually, somebody at work was joking about this. They were saying that this feature has been available on. Interesting. I can't seem to open the page for this. Did this become not a thing? Hang on. Fiber size. The link is broken. Did they?
Oh yeah, things are found. Interesting.
Did they? There are blog posts about this.
Yeah, but like the actual the page.
Yeah. 404. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So
maybe they're working on it still.
Maybe they pulled this one back.
Yep, could be.
Hang on. I have a VM somewhere. Am I using premium storage though? Let's see. Let's just find out because it went GA. So, but I'm probably using standard HDD storage because it's my blog and. Yeah. No, it's premium SSD LRS. Let's see if I can just change the size up. If I can just change the size up 2 gigs live. No, I can't.
Yeah, it sounds like
okay.
It's made GA, but then they decided.
Yeah, I think this got un-GA'd is what it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, probably like lots of like problems or something in the background, and they decided not to do it.
Yeah. So this is also no longer. I'm also getting 404 on this.
Oh,
that's weird. Live demos, huh?
Yeah, lovely, isn't it?
Loveliest demos.
What I wonder is like, why do these go for 4? I mean, if they have been, like, so that, yeah, you pulled this from your RSS feed when yesterday or today or
today, yeah, and this stuff is from it's from the 19th. That's like 2 weeks ago. That's like 2 weeks ago. So I mean, there's no way.
Yeah, Microsoft Cost Details API.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. Okay, well, we'll just say weirdness with the links, but it's very much a thing, and I think this will be good because now the only way to get the cost data is to do exports into a storage account and then to ingest those exports, and yeah, nobody wants to do that. I've actually worked with a few different FinOps solutions, and it's all the same story. Give us the storage account that has this export configured, and configure this export just so, and much better if the vendor can just query by API. Okay, so there will be a lot of this kind of thing where this or that service now supports this or that language. I just picked on PowerShell because it's most relatable to me. But this happens a lot.
Yeah.
Virtual machine restore points. Yeah. So this is like snapshots, but you can replicate them to alternative regions. Yeah. Yeah. So it's the VM configuration and the snapshot of the managed disks. Yep. And then you can, as I said, you can replicate them to other regions, specifically your non-paired regions. That is cool. Okay, this is the big one. This is the big news as far as I'm concerned. So, Oracle Cloud, interestingly enough, bases their storage entirely on this idea. So, yeah, the idea is that you'll be able to set your IOPS independently of your disk size. So, yeah, so no longer will you have to do weird things, such as striping several premium SSDs, as is the current practice to, if you don't want to go full ultra disk, that is currently the thing to do. Yeah, so this I'm pretty excited about, and it's free while it's in public preview, so I guess you can go and set up some free disks. Okay. Free disks, anybody?
That's pretty good. So, what in terms of the whole thing? It's going to be free? Like,
no. They'll.
About to say.
The documentation said that pricing will be announced. Wait, when did they say that pricing will be announced? Oh, so it's only available in 2 regions.
Yeah, as you said, East US.
East US, yes. Thank you.
I wanted to go for it as West Europe, but I know you can sign now for it.
They had the note as far as. So this is ultra disk stuff. They had the note somewhere in here that they're going to announce pricing, I think, in August.
So if I was just going to create a resource, I'm actually looking to create one right now. So,
oh, cool.
Because I'm interested in whether
Okay.
they're actually saying pricing or anything like that.
So yeah, now you can provision IOPS and throughput, and then that will be independent of size. This kind of thing also happens a lot where specifically Azure Active Directory or other authentication mechanisms will be available for a specific service where they weren't available before. And again, this is cool. This would be my second top pick. So as you may or may not know, Azure Backup Storage is based on Azure Backup is based on Azure Blob Storage for the storage component. And one of the features of Blob Storage is archive tier. So a little while back, there was the announcement that you can move individual backup points to archive tier. And now there's also a limited preview of automating the movement of specific backup points to archive tier. So this should let some people save some money when they're facing those 7-year or more retention requirements for specific data.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things. I would like to see archiving to be used more, and I think a lot of organizations seem to set it up like certain policies and whatnot, but they don't seem to actually archive their data. It's usually like even hot or cold or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Not really going to archive, and they could save money by doing that.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely purely money-saving move, and I like that they're automating this. And look, they'll even let you they will recommend the ones that are going to be cost-effective, or they'll just let you send any of the ones that are eligible. So that I think is really well done.
Cool.
Okay, so that was that. Okay, this would in terms of usefulness, I think this is definitely third. In terms of coolness, I think this is tied for 2. So this thing. So this effectively forces you to use a second Azure AD tenant to authenticate any of what are considered critical actions in Azure Backup. So let's say you have a disgruntled person that wants to go delete backups, or let's say you get breached and the breachers want to go delete backups. Well, now there's a whole other Azure AD tenant that they would have to compromise in order to change these critical things about the backups.
Yeah. So have you played about with this?
I haven't played with this at all, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't function as described.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go play with it.
Sounds good.
No, because I have backups. I have backups going for my blog, as everybody should. So yeah, I can set that up.
Okay. You're gonna do that later on, right? So we can cover that maybe next week if you want.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Cool. So I just put backup as but like I think we'll know what we're talking about. But yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
And
this thing.
temporary access path for Azure Active Directory.
Right. This just this lets people sign in easier if they don't have access to their 2FA and you need to sign them in to restore their 2FA. Yeah, cool things like this that
Yeah, it's just like there's many updates like every single almost day, isn't it? And it's
no, it's like at
so hard
least
to keep up.
sometimes 10, sometimes 20 a day.
Yeah.
I would say easily, but most of them are like the examples that I showed you. Only, well, as would be the nature of this, only sometimes do they do something really fundamental. Oh, I mean, mm, the fact that multiple backups per day are a feature that needs to be added is a thing of its own, I would say. I mean, no comment there, but good that it's there now, or rather going to be there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because before it's like it's just like gone down the whole grandfather clock cycle, right? And then just backs up
Yeah.
one day, and that's it. And you're like thinking, well, data can be compromised and
Yeah.
it can be compromised now. It could be compromised in an hour.
And yeah, I mean, I really don't want to have to rebuild a VM from the ASR snapshot
Yeah.
to do data recovery. Like, I'd rather not do that. So yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
That's definitely. You know what? Maybe for the next one of these, I'll make like a more clear tier list. Maybe we can do like tier lists. You know how the YouTubers do it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave that with me. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, we need some kind of an animation to like, and this goes. So I definitely put this in A tier.
Yeah.
I would put the multiple backups a day in A tier, and the premium storage thing, I think the premium V2 storage thing, I think I'd put that in S tier.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, we could bring up a whole like document which we can share with folks, and that and they would have different tiers that we do. Yeah, that'll be.
Yep.
Can do that.
So if you for some reason made 5,000 storage accounts, you can now make 5,000 more.
Oh, great! I can take all the names now. Yes. Yeah, I have some fun names actually, which I've taken. Days. I've taken Sony, which is I've taken a few. So
yeah. Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever get to the point where Azure storage account names are as valuable as domain names. Probably not.
Well, I don't know if the cloud gets. I mean, at the end of the day, the DNS is really what matters, right? It's not. It's not this, because at the end of the day, you just be masking over that with your DNS anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. If anything, using identifiable company names in your storage account names is probably a no-no, because the names are globally available. You can just search for organization storage accounts that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, exactly, because it's because they are globally available, right? You can only take one, and then that's it. And so the fact that they're letting, in fact, I'm actually not. I actually don't like that change, because it allows more people who, let's just say name farmers, to actually, be taken advantage of that, and actually, hold certain names to do that, because it's a difficult process to get that back, and you might the company might not be able to get that, even though they own the brand or whatever it is. So it's just one of those things that I'm like, it's cool, but I find that a little bit I'm wary of that.
And also, what is the use case for 5,000 storage accounts?
I mean, if you're having 5,000 storage accounts, you might be doing something wrong. I don't know, but is this per subscription?
This is per subscription.
Yeah, so if you have 5,000 storage accounts in one subscription, you are doing a lot of things wrong. I just don't see how you could have
And 5,000 is a weird number because it's not like you're making, well, I guess that depends on what you call a customer. That depends on the size of customer, I suppose.
Yeah, but still, if I was a customer, I'd expect them to have multiple subscriptions, and I wouldn't put 5,000 into one subscription because imagine if somebody deletes a subscription.
Yeah, there goes
5,000 storage accounts. That's just crazy to me. You'd have a couple. You'd have have maybe 100, 200, maybe 5, but to have 5,000 in one subscription is just insane.
Yeah. Yeah, so the rest of this is uncurated. So I was just scrolling through this to see if I would find anything immediately interesting.
Oh, and it said additional 5,000, so that meant 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10,000. Yeah.
Yeah. Really lots of stuff about the load testing. Oh, I smile every time anything supports anything to do with managed identity. I think that's one of the best Azure features that there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think managed identities are definitely something better than service principals. Service principals were okay at the beginning, but managed identities are a bit better now, I would say, to use.
Yeah, no, definitely. There are no credentials to manage, period, end of discussion. Oh, this was cool. I would definitely put this in B tier at least. So, you can now go full hybrid with Azure Bastion. So you can use your Bastion to connect via your express route or your VPN to your on-premise stuff. So you can RDP or SSH to your on-premise stuff using Azure Bastion. That I think is pretty cool. Oh yeah, I was scrolling, so now it's reset. Yeah, so this is pretty much Azure news for you. This is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I think people might be interested in knowing is to actually how to set this up for themselves.
Oh, sure. So the app is called Newsflow, and then in Newsflow you have sources, and you add a source, and you go to
You're gonna get that right now as well.
Yeah, you go to Azure Newsfeed and you just get this RSS feed URL and you just copy it in there, and it detects what it is. And well, in my case, it's already configured, but in your case, it'll detect what it is, and then you can configure it. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely set that up. just downloading. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just pretty cool though. The fact that you can actually go through. Obviously you can't keep on top of all of this. So
Yeah, no, I only look at the things. Honestly, I only look at the things that I understand the significance of.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I started watching some people also like trying to keep up with all the updates, but you know what? I realized in my life I just can't. I just can't keep up with everything because if I tried, I spend most of my time doing it, right?
Yeah,
Rather than doing anything else.
I think there's something to be said for specialization still.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think is the important thing is to maybe tailor this news feed to yourself. So, for example, if there's a like, because I'm more of a kind of DevOps and Terraform and kind of those kind of things. So, if there's something there that I could see which could actually impact myself, then yeah. But like, or like anything like or anything with like landing zones or anything like that, maybe. But again, it all depends, really. I mean, it depends on what you currently have in your environment and whether you want to be, making sure that that is reflected with your learning, basically.
Yeah. I don't think you can filter the RSS feed, but it's only 10 or 20 things a day. I find that it's fine to just ignore the things that you don't apply and
Yeah.
you just go check, and you're done.
Yeah. Well, let's try and keep on top of this, and let's make a list of our
Yeah.
we rank as the most important update.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is just our opinion. It could be, to another person, definitely that update is the most crucial update. While for us, it might not be. So
Yeah.
take it with a pinch of salt, but we'll try and get something going with that.
And I'll show you that multiple account backup authentication thing next. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we can just wrap up here. Thank you all for joining us, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.